In this lesson, we are going to be learning about how to represent linear functions. So to do that, first we must understand what is a linear function. A linear function is any equation whose graph is a straight line. We've looked at straight lines earlier in the year when we talked about proportional relationships. So we've seen graphs like this before. There are only certain equations that when you graph them, they end up as straight lines, and those are called linear functions. A linear function can be represented by an equation, a table, a graph, or a word problem, and we'll look at each of those in this lesson. Here is an example of a word problem that we will turn into an equation as well as a table. Jill made muffins. She put 6 muffins in each box. Write an equation to represent the total number of muffins Jill made, y, if she has x boxes. If there are 6 muffins per box and x boxes, the equation would be y equals 6x. Next, we will use that information to complete the table. So if the x value is 5, then to solve and figure out the y value, we're going to multiply 6 times 5, which is 30. If x was 8, if she had 8 boxes, we would multiply 6 muffins times 8 boxes, which is 48. And lastly, if she had 10 boxes, 6 muffins times 10 boxes is 60 muffins. This question says, if y is 66, what is the value of x? And what does this represent? Remembering that there are 6 muffins per box, we can divide 66 divided by 6, which gives us 11, and this represents the number of boxes she has. To try a few other word problems, turning them into equations, pause your video and try these 3 examples. A few things to remember when you are going to graph your scenario is that the x-axis is always going to be the horizontal axis. So that is this axis down here, and the y-axis is the vertical axis. Remember, when we are putting values in a table, we are always going to include our x values as the first column on the left, and our y values are the second column on the right. That will never change, and that is because when we are plotting points in ordered pairs, they always go in the same order, x, comma, y. So we want to always remember that those values go in that order, and that the x-axis is horizontal and the y-axis is vertical.